Hey Terrence, so how'd you spend your Labor Day weekend?
I spent my Labor Day weekend not doing anything except wishing I was at Burning Man. I had plans to go, but they fell through.
Oh man, that sucks because I know that you've really enjoyed it in the past.
Yeah, as you know, I've gone quite a few years in a row, but this year I couldn't make it. But I guess that the saving grace about it is that I'm not in the heat and I really can't stand the dust.
Oh yeah, I know. I hear that the heat and the dust can be overwhelming. I've had some friends who have gone in past years and they didn't prepare enough and they said they were in over their heads.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing that it helps to know what you're getting into with the conditions and just what to expect because no amount of description can really help with what you're going to experience.
Yeah. I was talking with a friend of mine who lives in Canada and I mentioned Burning Man, he'd never heard it, and he was like, "Oh, what's it about?" and wanted me to describe it. And I realized that, I'm not really able to describe it to him because I've never been.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, the first time you go, you really can't believe your eyes what you see. I mean, just all of the people and all the effort they put into it, all the creativity. It's really something to behold.
So, how would you describe it though? Like,
I would describe it just as a just really large festival where basically anything goes, anything you want to do is accepted. Any way you want to express yourself, it's okay, whether it's how you dress, what you say, uh, the kind of music you want to play, anything.
yeah, I've heard there's some pretty wild outfits. People just dress up as crazy as they possibly can.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to do. I never cease to be amazed with I'm gonna see there.
Nice, that's great. How long
But
is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
like I said, it's I've gone 5 years, and the process of going does get a little old. I mean, the first time I went, I definitely was had that first time blown away feeling.
Yeah.
But then after a while, subsequent years, it's not quite as exciting and fresh. So you start to maybe focus a little more on some of the discomforts. You have no creature comforts when you're there.
Yeah, and the traffic's out of hand too. I hear you end up sitting in like traffic jams for hours.
You can, especially towards the end of the week when everybody's in a rush to get there. It's absolutely can be that way.
When
But
when
that,
do when
go
do
ahead.
people start getting there?
Some people go as early as a week before. I mean, they really want to get there and maximize their time.
Yeah.
So you can be up there basically for 9 days if
Was
you.
that like people who want to build like structures and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. There's some people that can actually go even before it starts, and they can, if you're building a special art project, you could get there as early as a month beforehand. But people that are there setting up big camps, they tend to get there probably like 9 days beforehand.
It sounds like it's just like a really artistic event, like where everyone's just trying to express themselves and their artistic sides and showing off their art and stuff and just acting a little crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely an environment where it's and the fact that it's in the desert, it just adds to the just surreal atmosphere of it. I mean, you're there and you might as well be on the moon with the with the with the costumes and people just totally trick out their cars.
Yeah. And then
Um,
what did they do at the end? Like, I know they burned something, but I'm not even sure what it is because, like I said, I've never been there.
yeah, it's kind of the culmination of the event. It's why it's called Burning Man. There's this giant man that's basically burned. I mean, it's kind of this tribal festival that reaches a fever pitch. Lots of fire dancers, people just basically going crazy.
What's the man made out of?
Made of wood.
Oh,
It's made
okay.
of wood. Then there's definitely some neon light on him because the event is kind of surrounding a middle area and the man is in the middle and that Saturday night, which is on Labor Day weekend, pretty much the entire place kind of just surrounds it, and that's when it all starts. And then it finishes with him getting burned down, and the place just reaches a fever pitch at that point.
Yeah, I hear that it becomes like with the number of people there, it becomes one of the largest towns in all of Nevada
Yeah,
just
I
for
know
that
it's
weekend.
yeah, I know it's top 10. Yeah, definitely. It's a real good experience.
Yeah, I'd really like to go next year, but I'm going to plan for it, but you never know what can come up, so I'll just have to see how it goes.
Maybe I'll see you out there.
Yeah, well, if I go, you'll definitely be one of the first ones to know.
Awesome.
Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss, and we just wanted to let you know that this material is copyrighted in the year 2008 by Learn Real English LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com. Hello, and welcome to the mini story lesson for the conversation Burning Man. Let's get started with the story. Peter can't stand bathing. He has not taken a shower for 2 years. He smells very bad. His mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. She has asked Peter to bathe, but he will not do it. Peter wants a girlfriend. He has asked quite a few girls for a date, but they always say no. He thinks that he is in over his head. One time, his sister found him a date with a nice girl, but then the girl got sick, so the date fell through. So Peter tried to meet a girl on a dating website. He met a very nice girl named Paula, and they decided to meet for dinner. When Paula met Peter, she did not know what she was getting into. He smelled awful. When Peter saw Paula, he could not believe his eyes. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. They had a lot of fun that night. Paula told Peter she would have dinner with him again if he took a shower. Now Peter bathes every day. Okay, so that's our story. Now I'm going to read the story again, and as always, I will ask questions this time, and you can answer them out loud. If you need a little more time, please pause your player and take as much time as you need. And as always, if you just feel like listening, that's fine too. Okay, let's get started. Peter can't stand bathing. Does Peter like to bathe? No, he doesn't. He can't stand it. Does Peter like to take showers? No, he doesn't like to take showers. If he doesn't like to bathe, then he does not like to take showers. Who can't stand bathing? Peter. Peter can't stand bathing. Does Peter dislike bathing? Yes, he does. He dislikes it. He can't stand it. When you say that you can't stand something, that means you dislike it. Does Peter hate to bathe? Yes, that's true. He can't stand it, which is the same thing as saying he dislikes it or he hates to do it. He has not taken a shower for 2 years. Has he taken a shower in the last 2 years? No, he hasn't. He has not taken a shower for 2 years. Woo! What has he not done in 2 years? Take a shower. He hasn't taken a shower. Who has not taken a shower for 2 years? Peter or Charlie? Peter. Peter has not taken a shower for 2 years. So how long has it been since Peter took a shower? 2 years. It's been 2 years since he took a shower. Has it been 2 years or 7 years since he took a shower? 2 years. It's been 2 years since he took a shower. How many years has it been since he took a shower? Has it been 4 or 2 years? 2. It's been 2 years. He has not taken a shower for 2 years. He smells very bad. Does he smell very bad? Yes, he does. He has not taken a shower for 2 years, so he smells very bad. Does he smell good? No, he definitely does not smell good after 2 years of not taking a shower. Who smells very bad? Peter. Peter smells very bad. Does Peter or Paul smell very bad? Peter does. Peter smells very bad. How does Peter smell? Well, he smells very bad. He smells so bad. Does Peter smell very bad? Yes, he does. He smells very bad. His mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. Does his mother think that it has gotten out of hand? Yes, she does. His mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. What does his mother think? Does she think that gas is expensive or that it has gotten out of hand? She thinks that it has gotten out of hand. Does his mother think that it has become very bad? Yes, she does. She thinks that it has gotten out of hand, which is the same as saying she thinks that it has become very bad. Gotten out of hand is the same as become very bad. Does his mother think that the smell has got very bad? Yes, she does. That's what you think has gotten out of hand. The smell and the fact that he has not taken a shower in 2 years. Who thinks that it has gotten out of hand? Does Peter's sister Jane think that it has gotten out of hand? No, it's not his sister Jane. Does Peter's mother think that it has gotten out of hand? Yes, she does. His mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. Does Peter's mother think that it has become very bad? Yes, she thinks it has gotten out of hand, which means she thinks it has become very bad. She has asked Peter to bathe, but he will not do it. Did she ask Peter to bathe? Yes, she did. She has asked Peter to bathe. What did she do? She asked Peter to bathe. Did she ask Peter to buy some bread or bathe? Bathe. She asked him to bathe. Who asked Peter to bathe? Did his sister Jane or his mother ask him to bathe? His mother did. His mother asked him to bathe. Did Peter's mother ask him to bathe? Yes, she did. She has asked Peter to bathe. Who did she ask? Did she ask Peter's father? No, she didn't ask Peter's father. Did she ask Peter? Yes, she did. She asked Peter to bathe. Will Peter bathe? No, he will not. He will not do it. Will Peter take a shower? No. If he will not bathe, then that means he will not take a shower. Peter wants a girlfriend. Does Peter want a girlfriend? Yes, he does. He wants a girlfriend. What does Peter want? Does he want a shower or a girlfriend? A girlfriend. Peter wants a girlfriend. Does Peter want a shower? No, he definitely does not want a shower. Who wants a girlfriend? Does Peter or Paul want a girlfriend? Peter does. Peter wants a girlfriend. Does Paul want a girlfriend? No, Paul doesn't. Does Peter want a girlfriend? Yes, he does. Peter wants a girlfriend. He has asked quite a few girls for a date, but they always say no. Has he asked quite a few girls for a date? Yes, he has. He has asked quite a few girls for a date. What has he done? Has he watched a lot of television or asked quite a few girls for a date? Asked quite a few girls for a date. He has asked quite a few girls for a date. Has he asked quite a few girls for a date? Yes, he has. Has he asked only one girl for a date? No, he hasn't asked just one girl. He's asked quite a few girls. Has he asked a lot of girls for a date? Yes, he has. That's right. He has asked quite a few girls, which is the same as saying he has asked a lot of girls. When you say quite a few, that's the same as saying a lot. Who has asked a lot of girls? Has Brad Pitt asked a lot of girls for a date? No, not Brad Pitt. Has Peter asked a lot of girls for a date? Yes, he has. He has asked a lot of girls for a date. He has asked quite a few girls for a date. What has Peter asked? Has he asked for a date or for a piece of bread? A date. He asked for a date. He didn't ask for a piece of bread. Have any of the girls said yes when he asked for a date? No, they haven't. They always say no. They never say yes. Do the girls always say no when he asks them for a date? Yes, that's true. They always say no. He thinks that he is in over his head. Does he think that he is in over his head? Yes, he does. He thinks that he is in over his head. What does he think? Well, he thinks that he is in over his head. Does he think that it is too difficult to do? Yes, that's exactly what he thinks. When you say in over his head, it's the same thing as saying it is too difficult for him to do. What does he think is too difficult to do? Well, he thinks that it's too difficult to find a girl to date. Who thinks he is in over his head? Does Paul or Peter think he is in over his head? Peter does. Peter thinks that he is in over his head. He thinks that it is too difficult to do. Does Peter think that he is in over his head? Yes, he does. He thinks that he is in over his head. Does Peter think that it is too difficult to find a girl to date? Yes, he does. That's exactly what he thinks. One time, his sister found him a date with a nice girl. Did his sister find him a date with a nice girl? Yes, she did. His sister found him a date with a nice girl. What did his sister do? She found him a date with a nice girl. Did his sister find a girl for him to date? Yes, she did. She found him a date with a nice girl. So she found him one date with a nice girl. Who found him a date? Did his mother find him a date? No, it wasn't his mother. Did his sister find him a date? Yes, she did. His sister found him a date. Who did she find a date for? Did she find a date for Peter? Yes, that's right. She found a date for Peter. What did his sister find him? Did she find him a place to park his car? No, that's not what she found him. Did she find him a date? Yes, she did. She found him a date. Who did she find him a date with? Did she find him a date with a gorilla? A gorilla? No, she didn't find him a date with a gorilla. Did she find him a date with a nice girl? Yes, she did. She found him a date with a nice girl. Was the girl mean? No, the girl wasn't mean. Was the girl nice? Yes, she was. She was a nice girl. But then the girl got sick, so the date fell through. Did the date fall through? Yes, it did. The date fell through. Did the date happen? No, it didn't. The date did not happen. The date fell through. Fell through means to not happen. Did Peter go on a date with the girl? No, he didn't, because the date fell through. The date did not happen, so he did not go on a date with the girl. Why did the date fall through? Well, it fell through because the girl got sick. Did the date fall through because the girl got sick? Yes, that's correct. That's why the date fell through. It fell through because the girl got sick. Did the date not happen because the girl got sick? Yes, that's correct. It fell through, so it did not happen. Who got sick? Did Peter get sick? No, it wasn't Peter who got sick. Did the girl get sick? Yes, that's correct. The girl got sick. So Peter tried to meet a girl on a dating website. Did Peter try to meet a girl on a dating website? Yes, he did. He tried to meet a girl on a dating website. What did Peter do? Well, he tried to meet a girl on a dating website. Did he try to make a movie or meet a girl? Meet a girl. He tried to meet a girl. Who tried to meet a girl? Did Paul try to meet a girl? No, it wasn't Paul. Did Peter try to meet a girl? Yes. Yes, he did. Peter tried to meet a girl. Where did he try to meet a girl? Did he try to meet a girl at a bar? No, he didn't go to a bar to try to meet a girl. Did he try to meet a girl on a dating website? Yes, that's correct. He tried to meet a girl on a dating website. Did Peter try to meet a girl on a dating website? Yes, he did. That's true. Peter tried to meet a girl on a dating website. He met a very nice girl named Paula. Did he meet a very nice girl named Paula? Yes, he did. He met a very nice girl named Paula. What did he do? Well, he met a very nice girl, and her name was Paula. Did he go to a football game or meet a very nice girl? Meet a very nice girl. He met a very nice girl. Who met a very nice girl? Did Peter or Mark meet a very nice girl? Peter did. Peter met a very nice girl. Did Mark meet a very nice girl? No, it wasn't Mark. Did Peter meet a very nice girl? Yes, he did. Peter met a very nice girl. What was the girl's name? Was it Paula or Mary? Paula. It was Paula. Was the girl named Paula? Yes, she was. Her name was Paula. Was Paula mean? No, she wasn't mean. Was Paula really nice? Yes. Yes, she was. She was very nice, or she was really nice. Did Peter meet a very nice girl named Paula? Yes, he did. He met a very nice girl named Paula. And they decided to meet for dinner. Did they decide to meet for dinner? Yes, they did. They decided to meet for dinner. What did they decide to do? Did they decide to see a movie or meet for dinner? Meet for dinner. They decided to meet for dinner. Who decided to meet for dinner? Did Peter's sister and his mother decide to meet for dinner? No, that's not who decided to meet for dinner. Did Peter and Paula decide to meet for dinner? Yes, they did. Peter and Paula decided to meet for dinner. What did they decide to meet for? Did they decide to meet for lunch? No, they didn't decide to meet for lunch. Did they decide to meet for dinner? Yes, they did. They decided to meet for dinner. When Paula met Peter, she did not know what she was getting into. Did Paula know what she was getting herself into when she met Peter? No, she did not. Did Paula know what to expect? No, she didn't. She did not know what she was getting herself into, which is the same thing as saying she did not know what to expect. So she did not know what to expect. Who did not know what she was getting into? Peter's sister or Paula? Paula. Paula did not know what she was getting into. Did Paula know what to expect when she met Peter? No, she didn't. When she met Peter, she did not know what she was getting into, which is the same thing as saying she did not know what to expect. He smelled awful. Did he smell awful? Yes, he did. He had not taken a shower for 2 years, so he smelled awful. Did he smell good? No way. He definitely did not smell good. Did he smell bad? Yes, he smelled bad. Did he smell clean? No, he definitely did not smell clean. Who smelled awful? Did Paula or Peter smell awful? Peter did. Peter smelled awful. He smelled awful. Did Peter smell awful? Yes, he did. He smelled awful. When Peter saw Paula, he could not believe his eyes. Could Peter believe his eyes when he saw Paula? No, he could not. He could not believe his eyes. Did Peter believe what he saw when he saw Paula? No, he did not. He could not believe his eyes, which is the same thing as saying he did not believe what he saw. Was Peter happy when he saw Paula? Yeah, I think he was actually. We're not absolutely sure, but when you say you could not believe your eyes, a lot of the times that would mean that you're happy about what you saw. And I think in this case, Peter is happy. Who saw Paula? Did Peter's mother see Paula? No, Peter's mother didn't see Paula. Did Peter see Paula? Yes, he did. Peter saw Paula. When did Peter not believe his eyes? Was it when he saw Paula? Yes, that's true. When Peter saw Paula, he could not believe his eyes. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. Was he blown away because she was so beautiful? Yes, that's correct. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. What happened to him? Was he blown away? Yes, he was blown away. Was he pleased and very surprised? Yes, he was. He was blown away, which means he was pleased and very surprised. If you are blown away, that means you are pleased and very surprised. Who was blown away? Was Peter blown away? Yes, he was. Peter was blown away. Why was Peter blown away? Was he blown away because the wind was blowing very strong? No, that's not why he was blown away. It's not like the blowing of the wind. Was he blown away because she was so beautiful? Yes, that's why he was blown away. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. Who was so beautiful? Peter's mom or Paula? Paula. Paula was so beautiful. Was she ugly? No, she wasn't ugly. Was she so beautiful? Yes, she was so beautiful. Was she just a little beautiful? No, she wasn't just a little beautiful. She was so beautiful. That means she was very beautiful. Was Peter blown away because Paula was so beautiful? Yes, he was. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. They had a lot of fun that night. Did they have a lot of fun that night? Yes, they did. They had a lot of fun that night. What did they have that night? A lot of fun. They had a lot of fun. Did they enjoy dinner that night? Yes, we can say that because they had a lot of fun when they went to dinner. Who had a lot of fun? Did Peter's mother and father have a lot of fun? No, it wasn't Peter's mother and father. Did Peter and Paula have a lot of fun? Yes, they did. Peter and Paula had a lot of fun. When did they have a lot of fun? Did they have a lot of fun later that week? No, not later that week. Did Peter and Paula have a lot of fun that night? Yes, that's when they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun that night. Paula told Peter she would have dinner with him again if he took a shower. Did Paula tell Peter she would have dinner with him again if he took a shower? Yes, that's what she did. She told Peter she would have dinner with him again if he took a shower. What did Paula tell Peter? Did she tell him that she would have dinner with him if he took a shower? Yes, she did. She said, "I will have dinner with you again, Peter, if you take a shower." What will Paula do if Peter takes a shower? Will she buy him a new shirt? No, she won't buy him a new shirt. Will she have dinner with him again? Yes, that's what she'll do if he takes a shower. She will have dinner with him again. Who will have dinner with Peter if he takes a shower? His sister? No, it's not his sister. Will Paula have dinner with him if he takes a shower? Yes, that's true. Paula will have dinner with him if he takes a shower. Who will Paula have dinner with if he takes a shower? Peter. She will have dinner with Peter if he takes a shower. Will Paula have dinner again with Peter? Well, she will if he takes a shower. Now Peter bathes every day. Does Peter bathe every day? Yes, he does. Now Peter bathes every day. What does Peter do every day? He bathes. Peter bathes every day. Does he wash his car or bathe? He bathes. Who bathes every day? Does Paula bathe every day? Nope, we're not talking about Paula. Does Peter bathe every day? Yes, that's correct. Peter bathes every day. When does Peter bathe? Every day. He bathes every day. Does he bathe only on Tuesdays? No, he doesn't bathe only on Tuesdays. Does he bathe once a week? No, he doesn't bathe just once a week. Does he bathe every day? Yes, he does. He bathes every day. Peter bathes every day. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our story, which means that we are at the end of the mini story lesson for the conversation Burning Man. Now it's your turn to tell the story by yourself. Remember that you do not need to memorize every word in the story, but you do need to use the idioms that we discussed. In this story, we discussed these idioms: can't stand, out of hand, quite a few, in over his head, fell through, did not know what she was getting into, could not believe his eyes, and blown away. So now tell the story using these idioms. Okay, good luck, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss. And we just wanted to let you know that this material has been copyrighted in the year 2008 by Learn Real English, LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com. Hello. Welcome to the Point of View Stories for Burning Man. Today we're going to hear the same story from the Burning Man mini-story lesson, and we're going to hear it 4 different times. Each time we hear the story, it will be from a different point of view. I'll either be changing the time of the story or the person who is telling the story. Okay, let's get started. Peter can't stand bathing. He has not taken a shower for 2 years. He smells very bad. His mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. She asks Peter to bathe, but he will not do it. Peter wants a girlfriend. He asks quite a few girls for a date, but they always say no. He thinks that he is in over his head. One time, his sister finds him a date with a nice girl. But then the girl gets sick, so the date falls through. So Peter tries to meet a girl on a dating website. He meets a very nice girl named Paula, and they decide to meet for dinner. When Paula meets Peter, she does not know what she is getting into. He smells awful. When Peter sees Paula, he cannot believe his eyes. He is blown away because she is so beautiful. They have a lot of fun that night. Paula tells Peter she will have dinner with him again if he takes a shower. Now Peter bathes every day. Okay, so that's the story told as if it is happening right now or in the present. Now let's tell the story as if it has already happened. Let's tell it as if it happened 1 year ago. Okay, here we go. 1 year ago, Peter could not stand bathing. He had not taken a shower for 2 years. He smelled very bad. His mother thought that it had gotten out of control. She had asked Peter to bathe, but he would not do it. Peter wanted a girlfriend. He asked quite a few girls for a date, but they always said no. He thought that he was in over his head. One time, his sister found him a date with a nice girl. But then the girl got sick, so the date fell through. So Peter tried to meet a girl on a dating website. He met a very nice girl named Paula, and they decided to meet for dinner. When Paula met Peter, she did not know what she was getting into. He smelled awful. When Peter saw Paula, he could not believe his eyes. He was blown away because she was so beautiful. They had a lot of fun that night. Paula told Peter she would have dinner with him again if he took a shower. Then Peter bathed every day. Okay, so we've now heard the story as it happened 1 year ago. Now let's hear it as if it will happen 1 year from now. Let's begin. 1 year from now, Peter will not be able to stand bathing. He will not have taken a shower for 2 years. He's going to smell very bad. His mother is going to think that it has gotten out of hand. She'll ask Peter to bathe, but he will not do it. Peter's going to want a girlfriend. He's going to ask quite a few girls for a date, but they will always say no. He's going to think that he's in over his head. One time, his sister will find him a date with a nice girl. But then the girl is going to get sick, so the date will fall through. So Peter is going to try to meet a girl on a dating website. He'll meet a very nice girl named Paula, and they'll decide to meet for dinner. When Paula meets Peter, she'll not know what she's getting into. He's gonna smell awful. When Peter sees Paula, he won't be able to believe his eyes. He'll be blown away because she is going to be so beautiful. They're going to have a lot of fun that night. Paula is going to tell Peter she'll have dinner with him again if he takes a shower. Then Peter will bathe every day. Okay, so now let's hear the story from Peter's point of view. So Peter will now be telling the story. Here we go. I can't stand bathing. I have not taken a shower for 2 years. I smell very bad. My mother thinks that it has gotten out of hand. She asks me to bathe, but I will not do it. I want a girlfriend. I ask quite a few girls for a date, but they always say no. I think that I am in over my head. One time, my sister finds me a date with a nice girl. But then the girl gets sick, so the date falls through. So I try to meet a girl on a dating website. I meet a very nice girl named Paula, and we decide to meet for dinner. When Paula meets me, she does not know what she is getting into. I smell awful. When I see Paula, I cannot believe my eyes. I am blown away because she is so beautiful. We have a lot of fun that night. Paula tells me she will have dinner with me again if I take a shower. Now I bathe every day. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the point of view stories for Burning Man. Remember to listen to these stories until you know them well. Listen to them until you can tell the story on your own. Okay, enjoy the stories. I'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss. And we just wanted to let you know that this material has been copyrighted in the year 2009 by Learn Real English, LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com.
Welcome back. This is the vocabulary lesson for the conversation Burning Man. In this conversation, Joe is speaking to one of his friends named Terrence. They're talking about this big festival that happens one time a year called Burning Man. Terrence has been to Burning Man many times. Okay, let's begin with the conversation. Joe starts out by saying, "Hey, Terrence, so how'd you spend your Labor Day weekend?" How'd. This is just short for how did. You won't see how'd in written English, but you'll definitely hear it in conversational English. Labor Day. Labor Day is an American holiday. It's the first Monday in September. Labor Day. And when Joe says Labor Day weekend, he's just talking about the Saturday and Sunday before Labor Day, the holiday on Monday. So how'd you spend your Labor Day weekend? It just means, what did you do for Labor Day weekend? And then Terrence says, I spent my Labor Day weekend not doing anything except wishing I was, or he's saying thinking about how I wanted to be at Burning Man. Burning Man. This is an American festival that takes place in the desert over Labor Day weekend. Burning Man. That's the name of the festival. And then Terrence goes on to say, I had plans to go, but they fell through. Fell through. Now what Terrence is saying here is his plans did not happen. If something falls through, it does not happen. For example, I wanted to get a massage, but my plans fell through because the massage therapist was sick. Fell through. And then Joe says, oh man, that sucks. Now, oh man, he's just showing some emotion here, like, oh, I don't believe that. That sucks. That sucks means it's unfortunate. That sucks. For example, it sucks that I got sick before the party because I really wanted to go. That sucks. Or in this example, it sucks. And Joe goes on to say, because I know that you've really enjoyed it in the past. Or what Joe's saying is, you really had a good time at Burning Man in the past. And Terrence says, yeah. Yeah being slang or casual or informal for yes. And Terrence goes on to say, I've, as you know, I've gone quite a few years. So he's saying, I've gone many years in a row. So what he's saying is quite a few years in a row. He's gone to a lot of Burning Man festivals year after year after year. That's in a row. And Terrence goes on to say, but this year I couldn't make it. Or he's saying I couldn't go. But I guess that the saving grace about it. Now, saving grace, this is something you like about something, although you do not like anything else about it. For example, the movie theater is small and dirty, but its saving grace is that it shows good movies. So saving grace. So Terrence is saying the saving grace about it is that I'm not in the heat. And I really can't stand the dust. Dust meaning dirt. So he's saying, yeah, I really wanted to go, but the saving grace, or the good thing about me not going, even though I wanted to go, is that I'm not out in the heat. It gets really hot at Burning Man. And he says, and I'm not in the dirt. I'm not in the dust. When Terrence says he really can't stand the dust, can't stand means do not like, or he doesn't like the dust. For example, I can't stand waking up early. Can't stand. And then Joe says, oh yeah? Or he's saying, oh really? And Joe goes on to say, I know. I hear that the heat and the dust can be overwhelming. Or what Joe is saying is it can be too much. And then Joe says, I've had some friends who have gone in the past years and they didn't prepare enough. Or they didn't get ready enough. And then Joe says, and they said they were in over their heads. In over their heads. This means to be involved with something that is too difficult to do. In over their heads. For example, I'm not good at math, so whenever I had to take a math test, I was in over my head. In over their heads, or in this example, in over my head. And then Terrence says, oh yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing that it helps to know what you're getting into. To know what you're getting into. This means to know what to expect. To know what you're getting into. For example, when I went trekking in Nepal, I did not know what I was getting into, so I was not prepared for the weather. To know what you're getting into. And Terrence goes on to say, with the conditions. What conditions means here is the weather. It gets really hot at Burning Man, and because it's in the desert, there are dust storms. And then Terrence goes on to say, and just what to expect, because no amount of description can really help with what you're gonna experience. Now, no amount of description means nothing anyone can tell you or anything that you hear is going to help prepare you for what you're really gonna experience, or gonna being short for going to experience. And then Joe says, yeah, I was talking with a friend of mine who lives in Canada, and I mentioned, or I told him, about Burning Man, and he'd never heard it. And he was like is just a filler word here, doesn't really mean anything. he was like, well, you know is just short for you know. You know, what's it about? So Joe's friend in Canada is asking, what is it? What is Burning Man? What's it about? And Joe goes on to say, and he wanted me to describe it, or he wanted me to tell him about it. And then Joe says, and I realized that, I'm not really able to describe it to him because I've never been. And Terrence says, yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of hard to describe, or it's a little difficult to describe. And Terrence says, or what I'm trying to say. The first time you go, you really can't believe your eyes. Now what he's saying here, can't believe your eyes, or could not believe my eyes. What you see does not seem real. Can't believe your eyes. For example, when I went to Nepal and saw the mountains, I could not believe my eyes. They were so beautiful, they did not look real. Can't believe your eyes, or could not believe my eyes in this Nepal example. And then Terrence says, what you see, just all the people and all the effort, or everything they put into it, all the creativity's new and different ideas, or new and different art or music, etc. And Terrence says, it's really something to behold. Something to behold. This means it's amazing. Something to behold. For example, the mountains in Nepal are something to behold. And Joe says, so, how would you describe it though? And Terrence says, I would describe it just as a really large festival. Large meaning very big. And Terrence goes on to say, where basically, or he's saying really, anything goes. Now, anything goes. This means you can do anything you wish to do, or you can do anything you want to do. Anything goes. For example, there are areas in Pakistan near the border of Afghanistan where there are no police, and anything goes. And then Terrence goes on to say, anything you want to do. Wanna is short for want to. He's saying anything you want to do is accepted, or it's okay to do. And Terrence says, anyway, you want to express yourself. It's okay. Now, express yourself. This means to show something about yourself. For example, Jane likes to express herself by painting. Express yourself. And then Terrence goes on to say, whether it's how you dress, what you say, the kind of music you want to play, anything. And Joe says, yeah, I've heard there's some pretty wild outfits. Pretty wild. Pretty here means very, and wild just means very different, unusual, uncommon, or not common. And outfits means clothes or costume. A costume is something that you wear, or a style of dress for a party, festival, etc. So for example, the people at the party were wearing some funny outfits. And then Joe goes on to say, people just dress up as crazy as they possibly can. Now, crazy here means as different or as unusual or uncommon as they possibly can. And Terrence says, yeah, you never know what people are gonna do. Gonna being short for going to. And then Terrence says, I never cease to be amazed. Never cease to be amazed. What this means is not surprised. So Terrence is saying, I'm never surprised with what I'm going to see there. An example of this would be the beauty of the mountains in Nepal never ceases to amaze me. Never cease to be amazed, or never ceases to amaze me. And Terrence goes on to say, with what's I'm gonna see there. And then Joe laughs and says, nice, that's great. How long? And Terrence says, but, and then Joe says, is it, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. So Joe's saying, go ahead and talk. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't. Go ahead. And Terrence says, but, like I said, I've gone 5 years, and the process, or he's saying everything you have to do to get ready for it, the process of going does get a little old. Get a little old. What this means is it's no longer fun. Get a little old. For example, I always loved going to school the first day of a new school year, but it would get a little old by the end of the first week. Get a little old. And then Terrence goes on to say, the first time I went, I definitely was, had that first time blown away feeling. Blown away. What Terrence is saying here is, I had that first time pleased and very surprised feeling. For example, I was blown away by how large New York City is. Blown away. And then Joe says, yeah. And Terrence says, but then after a while, subsequent years, subsequent meaning years after or the following years, and Terrence says, it's not quite as exciting and fresh. Fresh meaning new. And Terrence says, so you start to maybe focus, or you start to maybe pay attention a little more on some of the discomforts. Discomforts meaning things that make you uncomfortable. And Terrence says, you have no creature comforts when you're there. Creature comforts. These are things that are comfortable and familiar. Creature comforts. And Joe says, yeah, and the traffic's out of hand too. Traffic is just a lot of cars that are not able to move. They're moving slowly because there are so many cars. So Joe's saying, yeah, the traffic's out of hand. Out of hand means very bad. For example, the traffic in New York City is out of hand. It's very bad. And Joe goes on to say, I hear you end up sitting in like traffic jams for hours. So a traffic jam is the same as traffic, basically. It's when there are so many cars going the same way that they're not able to move forward. Or they're moving forward very slowly. Traffic jam. And Terrence says, you can especially, or you can most importantly, towards the end of the week, when everybody's in a rush or everybody's in a hurry to get there, it's absolutely, or it's definitely can be that way. And Joe says, and Terrence says, but then, and Terrence says, go ahead. Or he's telling Joe, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead and talk. And Joe says, when do people start getting there? And Terrence says, some people go as early as a week before. They really want to get there and maximize their time. Or Terrence is saying they want to have as much time as possible, maximize their time. And Joe says, yeah, agreeing with him. And then Terrence says, you can be up there basically for 9 days if you... And then Joe says, is that like people who want to build like structures and stuff? What Joe's talking about here is how people build, or how they make small buildings out of wood. And Terrence says, yeah, definitely. There's some people who can actually go even before it starts. And you can, if you're building a special art project, you could get there as early as a month beforehand or a month ahead. And Terrence says, but people that are there setting up big camps meaning large areas where groups of people stay for the whole week. And Terrence says they tend to, or they usually get there probably like 9 days beforehand or 9 days ahead. And Joe says, it sounds like it's just like a really artistic event. Artistic event meaning a place where artists go, or people who like art. And then Joe goes on to say, like where everyone just trying to express themselves. Joe should have said where everyone is just trying to express themselves, but just probably speaking fast in the conversation, he left is out. He didn't say is. And then Joe goes on to say, and their artistic sides. Artistic sides meaning people are trying to express artistic parts of their personalities. And Joe says, and showing off their art and stuff. Showing off, this means doing something to bring attention to yourself. Showing off. For example, Tim likes to show off his motorcycle because girls like it. Showing off. And then Joe finishes saying, and just acting a little crazy. Acting a little crazy here means just being a little different or acting a little unusual. And then Terrence says, absolutely, absolutely. He's saying, definitely, definitely. He's agreeing with Joe. And Terrence says, it's definitely an environment, or he's saying it's definitely a place where it's, and the fact, or since it's in the desert, it just adds to the just surreal atmosphere of it. Or he's saying the surreal effect of it. Surreal means unreal. For example, the mountains in Nepal seemed surreal because they looked like a picture. They did not seem real. That's surreal. And then Terrence says, I mean, you're there and you might as well be on the moon with a might as well. Might as well means could be or the same as. So he's saying you could be on the moon. Or it would be the same as being on the moon. For example, there was so much traffic when I was driving to work, I might as well have been in Bangkok. Might as well. And then Joe just laughs. And Terrence says, with the costumes and people just totally or just completely trick out their cars. Now, trick out, this means to decorate. Trick out. For example, Lewis likes to trick out his truck. Trick out. And Joe says, yeah. And then, what do they do at the end? Like, I know they burn something or they set something on fire, but I'm not even sure what it is. Because, like I said, I've never been there. And Terrence says, yeah, it's kind of the culmination. Culmination meaning the last thing culmination. For example, the culmination of the party was when AJ gave a speech. Culmination. So he's saying it's kind of the culmination of the event. Event meaning festival. And Terrence goes on to say, it's why it's called Burning Man. There's this giant man, or this very large man, that's basically burned. Now, it's not really a man that's burned. The man is made from wood. It's not a real man. And Terrence goes on to say, he's saying, what I'm trying to say, it's kind of this tribal festival that... Now, what tribal means is that parts of Burning Man, the Burning Man Festival, are based on indigenous peoples' cultures or native peoples' cultures. And then Terrence goes on to say, it's kind of this tribal festival that reaches a fever pitch. Fever pitch, this means a lot of excitement. So the festival reaches a lot of excitement. An example of fevered pitch would be when the football team scored, the crowd reached a fevered pitch. Fever pitch, or in this example, fevered pitch. And Terrence says, lots of fire dancers, so people dancing with fire. People just basically going crazy. Going crazy here means people just getting out of control. They're so excited. And Joe says, what's the man made out of? And Terrence says, made of wood. And Joe says, oh, okay. And Terrence says, he's made of wood, and then there's definitely some neon light on him. Neon light meaning really bright light on him. Cause this is short for because. So Terrence is saying, because the event is kind of surrounding a middle area, and the man is in the middle. So what Terrence is describing here, or saying, is that the burning of the wooden man takes place in the middle of the whole festival. And Terrence goes on to say, and that Saturday night, which is on Labor Day weekend, pretty much, or almost all of, the entire place kind of just surrounds it. And that's when it all starts. So what Terrence is saying, almost all of the people there come to stand around the wooden man. So the entire place kind of just surrounds it. Everyone comes to stand around the wooden man. And Terrence goes on to say, and then it's finishes with him getting burned down, and the place just reaches a fever pitch, or everyone gets very excited at that point, or he's saying at that time. And Joe says, yeah, I hear that it becomes like, with the number of people there, it becomes one of the largest towns in all of Nevada. Now, Nevada, this is a state in America. So Burning Man takes place in the desert in Nevada. Nevada's over on the western side of America. And what Joe is saying here is that there are so many people staying there for the week of Burning Man that it becomes one of the biggest towns in Nevada. And Terrence says, yeah, I know, and Joe says, for that weekend. Joe keeps saying weekend. He kept thinking that Burning Man was only for a weekend, but actually it's for a week. And Terrence says, yeah, I know, it's top 10. Or he's saying it becomes one of the 10 biggest towns in Nevada. And then Terrence goes on to say, yeah, definitely. It's a real good experience. And then Joe says, yeah, you know what? I'd really like to go next year, but I'm gonna plan for it, but you never know what can come up. You never know what can come up. Now, this means not sure what will happen. You never know what can come up. For example, I want to go to Thailand later this year, but you never know what can come up. And Joe goes on to say, so I'll just have to see how it goes. Or he's saying, I'll have to see what happens. See how it goes. For example, I was going to buy a car, but then I lost my job. So I will just have to see how it goes. And then Terrence says, maybe I'll see you out there. So what he's saying is, maybe I'll see you at Burning Man. Maybe I'll see you there at the festival. And Joe laughs and says, yeah, well, if I go, you'll definitely be one of the first ones to know. So what Joe is saying is, you'll definitely be one of the first people I tell. And then Terrence ends the conversation by saying, awesome. So awesome means great. Alrighty. This is the end of the vocabulary lesson for the conversation Burning Man. Now make sure before moving on to the mini story that you have a basic understanding of the vocabulary. And then when you're ready, go to the mini story. Good luck. Goodbye. See you next time. Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss. And we just wanted to let you know that this material has been copyrighted in the year 2008 by Learn Real English, LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com